Hi there. In this video, we'll be covering who can help me write my life story. Choosing a writing partner can make or break your book writing process. And following the tips in this video will help you make the right choice. By the end of this video, you will learn how to tap into your existing network, why a ghostwriter can be a great option for writing your book, and the 3 skills necessary for anyone you end up choosing. And stay tuned until the end of the video for a free opportunity. Let's dive in. So you want to write a book. Congratulations. It is such an awesome thing. It's a powerful thing. It's an exciting thing. It's a scary thing. It's all these emotions rolled together, but the end result and the outcomes you can get from writing a book are so great and so powerful. When you first embark on writing a book and looking for people to help you write it, I would start with your existing network. Think about people that you know who've written books. Think about people that are friends of friends who've written books. You want to find people in this space. You want to find people who have experience with the book writing process or know of people. You know, a lot of times if you open up a book, and this could be true to any book that you read, open it up to the acknowledgments. See who helped on the book. See who collaborated. I work as a book ghostwriter, and a lot of times I will be credited in the acknowledgments of the book as, you know, thank you to Dan Good for helping me with blah, 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 blah. And it's exciting to have that because it's a great business card to me in a sense that people who pick up that book can then think about the book that they want to write, the story that they want to write. And if the stories overlap, the stories have similar themes, I might be a good collaborator for them. But think about the writers and authors, the published authors in your network, because they will have already gone down this road. They will have already worked in this space, and they will know people that can help you as well. When trying to find someone to help you write your life story, it's tough to find someone more experienced and more apt for the job than a ghostwriter. Ghostwriters by nature are people who help others tell their stories. I myself have ghostwritten upwards of 25 books at this point, and it's really neat to be able to collaborate with other people and to help them bring their stories forward, to walk in their shoes and to help make their writing process easier. Because there's so many obstacles that you face during the writing process, during the editing process, during the publishing process. A book ghostwriter is someone who has all of this experience, who've done this before, and who can help you along. The way a ghostwriting process works is it's a true collaboration. You know, I think a lot of times when people think about working with a ghostwriter, they think, I'm going to talk to this person once, they're going to go off and just write something for me, and then it's going to get published. And that's not true at all. The projects that I work on that are ghostwriting projects involve lots of collaboration. I typically meet weekly with clients, and we'll send material back and forth and discuss it, what works, what doesn't work. We'll figure out the next step for the next chapter. You know, we'll just keep this process moving forward, but it requires constant touch points and constant feedback. This isn't an independent process where you're just paying somebody to go off and write your story without you. You are the most important part of your story, and you need to be an essential piece of that process. Working with a ghostwriter is really about getting out what you put in and then some. It's about giving your best and helping the ghostwriter navigate this space to be able to write the best book possible or the best story possible. They can't do that if you're not giving them the right material, you're not vulnerable enough, you're not present during meetings. I know I've worked with people who will schedule calls with me during their office hours, and they will have people interrupting them all the time. That's not a great process. It's not a great way. So it's really important to approach meetings with clarity, with focus. This whole process involves focus. And just giving your best to this and allowing the ghostwriter to give their best to this. Anyone you end up choosing to help you write your life story really needs to have 3 skills. The first is they have to have some level of writing talent. That's kind of a prerequisite. Anybody that you're going to work with who's going to guide your writing, that guiding your life story, will need some writing experience, some writing know-how, whether that's journalism, whether that's press releases, whether that's books, whether that's essays. They need to have some background in writing or understanding of writing. It could even be LinkedIn social media posts. Whatever the case may be, they have to have some tangible experience in writing. Their experience doesn't necessarily need to be in books, but it certainly doesn't hurt to have someone who has book experience. The second must-have is that you need to have a good rapport with them. This is somebody you're going to be meeting with consistently for the next 3, 6, 9 months. You want to make sure that there's a good rapport and a good give and take there, that you get along. That doesn't mean you need to see eye to eye on everything. And frankly, it's kind of better sometimes if you don't see eye to eye on everything. I know with my own book ghostwriting clients, many of them don't view the world the same way I do, and I think that's great. Because they don't view the world the same way I do, I can actually bring up contrarian viewpoints sometimes. I can bring up ideas that they haven't thought about, or kind of help them cover their blind spots. This isn't about hive mind and being completely aligned. This is about throwing out the best ideas and seeing what is the best, and finding the greatest way forward for the project. The third must-have is they need to have an open mind. They need to be agreeable to discuss things and to have disagreements and to keep things respectable. I love when clients come to me during my calls with them and say, I didn't really connect with the last chapter you sent me, let's talk about it. I love exploring those conversations because it opens new ground for the book or the story or whatever you're trying to tell. It forces everyone to take a step back and say what's working and what's not working. This isn't about ego. As somebody who collaborates with others, I really have to let my ego go. And that's a great thing. It's been awesome for me to let my ego go and to focus on helping people write their best story. But being able to give a back and forth and be curious about it and wonder about it. Was this the best that we could do? I work with people sometimes who go over the top and say, oh, I don't like this, we need to make all these changes. And then I'm like, oh, well, this is actually really good. What if we tweak these things here and there? It's good to be able to have that give and take, to have that pushback, but to be able to roll with it, not to take it personally. I remember when I first started as a ghostwriter 5+ years ago, and I would get feedback. I would get those red marks on Microsoft Word, track changes, red, red, red. And I took it personally. Oh, my writing's so much better than theirs. It took me a while to figure out that my goal as a ghostwriter wasn't to write in my voice. It was to help the client write the story in their voice and to write their best book, because their best book and my best book is not the same thing, and it shouldn't be. Letting go of my ego and letting go of the criticisms and the frustrations and concerns, and being curious without being judgmental. It really helps to make the whole process better and to iron out any issues that pop up. As you're writing the book with somebody, whether it's a ghostwriter or somebody else, the last thing that you want is to not feel confident in it. And then it goes to editing. And then it's going to be published eventually. How would you feel about publishing something you don't really feel confident in? That's a scary prospect. That's not a great thing. If you don't have that affirmation and you don't have the gut feeling that this is something powerful to put out in the world, you're not going to want to proceed. So you really want to explore those pain points as they pop up and work with somebody who's going to be open-minded enough to explore it. And given that open-mindedness, it's also important to get feedback and listen to it. If someone says this story is not great to include in this project, it's important to pull back and understand that and separate yourself from it and recognize that maybe they're right. Maybe it doesn't need to be there. So that give and take is crucial to the whole process. If you want to learn more about finding someone to write your life story, go to my website, goodghostwriter.com. You can click the link below. There you can schedule a free one-on-one strategy call with me so we can talk about your story, talk about your issues, talk about your desires and goals and motivations for writing this. And I can help you figure out the best path forward. Remember, good ghostwriting makes great books. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.